Drug addiction, especially meth, continues plaguing Northwest Louisiana, but one doctor's game-changing lab work could offer some hope. Details now in this special report.
Recovery is you just don't go through it once and get it.
After 9 years of alcohol sobriety, Jeff Rogers thought he'd finally gotten it. Operating more than a dozen hotels, he owned his own company, was at the top of his career when it all fell apart. He found himself facing a new addiction.
For whatever reason, I chose not to drink. I was deep into gambling, but I chose meth. And that's the first time I'd ever tried meth.
Jeff was busted twice for meth, and after some time in jail and recovery, he managed to stay clean for a couple of years before hitting a career slump. A tough lifestyle change, he found the cravings difficult to ignore.
For whatever reason, I started using meth again just as a little bitty, just to feel better, to have fun.
And found himself busted for a third time, this time facing almost 30 years in jail.
My soul was gone. My soul was gone because I made the stupid mistake to try it just a little, just once. And it went from once to twice to before you knew it, I was full blown again.
A vicious cycle for many that one local doctor wanted to end.
I always tell my student it's like the Lindsay Lohan phenomenon, because whenever she gets into treatment, she's able to do very well in the rehab facility. But when she gets out and she's exposed to those triggers in the environment, people she used drugs with or places where she used the drugs, that stimulates craving, which leads to relapse.
The search to find treatment options for those suffering with substance use disorder started right here in the LSU Health Sciences Center, all in an effort to help people like Jeff.
Every day I wake up, it's the hardest addiction in my life. And it's something I have to work on every day.
The drug EMB-001 essentially blocks the cravings. It's a game changer, different from treatments like methadone for addiction to heroin or prescription painkillers, a treatment that could not only be used for meth, but also cocaine and possibly even nicotine cravings.
There are currently no FDA-approved treatments for cocaine or methamphetamine substance use disorder. And we're not giving people a little bit of meth or cocaine or nicotine. We're actually blocking that trigger mechanism that leads to craving.
How many years would you say has this been in the making then?
Over 30, 35. It definitely is worth it. And I didn't get into it to come up with some great cure, although hopefully that's what's happening. But now that we're here, it's hopefully will help a lot of people.
People take drugs for diabetes. People take drugs for hypertension. Why can't they take a drug to treat their substance use disorders as well?
Now, through the company Embera, EMB-001 is in phase 2 of testing human trials. It could be at least 6 years before all the trials are completed, but for Jeff, who's now back to work, managing his own business again, and meth sober for more than 2 years, it's an option he'd still seriously consider to help him continue the fight.
I'm happy today, and I'm happy because I'm not on meth. If I could take a pill every morning to take away a craving, it would be wonderful. Because I don't ever want to use meth again.
Now, Dr. Getters is also opening a home and program called Loving Solutions to help local women recovering from meth addiction. Through the local treatment center, Active Recovery, you can actually donate and help them and others working to overcome. You can just search for Active Recovery when you head to giveforgoodla.org. And I'm going to have more on Loving Solutions and more on Jeff's story Wednesday night in part 2 of this special report.